Okay, just make sure you add in there that you had to slam on your brakes, and the brakes, like, you had to slam on the brakes to avoid that charger, and the brakes locked up to avoid that charger. That's
Now, some people may not like this when I say it, but I'm going to say it. Blame it on the black dude in the Charger, the lime green Charger. Blame it on Kyren Lacy because his life doesn't matter. That's what we're dealing with. What other reason can you say that he said do this other than racism? It's racist. Do y'all remember the story of Kyren Lacy, a young 24-year-old future potentially NFL star who had dreams of making it big, doing what he loved, only for him to supposedly had been the leading cause for a deadly crash? Do y'all recall that? If you do recall it, I have some information for you that you need to hear. If you don't recall it, hold on to your seat because we're getting ready to see that this story, this narrative, that was conjured up by law enforcement. Now, I'll be the first to tell you that I back the blue up to a point. What point? So as long as they're doing their job. Now, I am not under the impression that all cops are bad. With that in mind, I am not under the impression that all cops are good. There are some righteous, patriotic, let me correct that, Dan. There are some righteous, patriotic, and wholesome and kind law enforcement officers out there, men and women, both black, white, Hispanic, Asian, Indian, Pacific Islander, Native American, you name it, who want to do what's best to keep Americans safe. All right? To protect and to serve. There are many out there who want to do that. But within that, there are some bad apples. There are some proverbial pigs out there. I've never called a cop that before, but it is true. Where you find goodness, you also find evil as well. And that is the case in this situation. Now, let me say this. What happened to Kyren Lacy, ultimately him committing suicide, is something that he should have never done in the first place. I don't want to gloss over that. Committing suicide is not a good thing. Taking it upon yourself to take your own life isn't good. It's not good. All right? That is not an option. But we never know what could be done to a person's mind psychologically when you are now being held accountable for a deadly crash that you didn't even have anything to do with. I pray that God would have mercy upon Kyren's soul. Take a look at this video right here. Watch.
I am sick to my stomach seeing what happened in the Kyren Lacy case today, man. Because earlier this year, all the media was talking about this guy is that he killed somebody in a hit and run. He caused a head-on collision, right? That's what the police said. Passing in a no-passing zone leading to a head-on collision. He was charged with homicide, felony hit and run, and reckless operation of a vehicle. But then we saw the entire accident on footage, right?
From oncoming traffic colliding with the vehicle of Mr. Hall.
And right here we see the crash, right? But the thing is, they said that he passed in a no-passing zone, and that led to a head-on collision. But where possibly is Kyren Lacy's car?
You will see another vehicle come to a stop, and then you'll see.
He is right there, behind the crash. He wasn't even right behind it. He was nowhere near the crash. So how in the world did they link Kyren Lacy to this crash, you might ask? Well, let's listen to the body cam footage of one of the cops talking to a witness.
Okay, just make sure you add in there that you had to slam on your brakes, and the brakes, like, you had to slam on the brakes to avoid that charger, and the brakes locked up to avoid that charger. That's.
Make sure you say that you slammed on the brakes.
Hold it right there. did I just hear the officer telling him to make sure you add in there? Add in there? Add in there? What in the world? Someone just died because of this car crash. Okay? And you're going to tell one of the drivers to add in there that he should blame it on another vehicle and say that you had to hit the brakes hard and aggressively because of another vehicle? Where are we? Are we in a third world country? Have we lost our minds? So you're going to mess up another person's life just to protect somebody else? Oh yeah, let's blame it on the black dude. Now, I don't do the race baiting. I don't do the race hustling. I don't do any of that, but I'm going to call a spade a spade. To the cops, he thought that it was best to blame it on Blackie. That's what we're dealing with. Now, some people may not like this when I say it, but I'm going to say it. Blame it on the black dude in the Charger, the lime green Charger. Blame it on Kyren Lacy because his life doesn't matter. That's what we're dealing with. What other reason can you say that he said do this other than racism? It's racist. It's racist. Now, I don't preach race baiting. I'm not a race hustler. I don't do that stuff. If you watch my channel, if you tune in to me constantly, I cut straight. Measure twice, cut once. I'm not one of these people out here trying to make things what they're not. But man, this is disgusting. It's disgusting. I'm disgusted by what I just heard. Matter of fact, rewind it again. Let America hear this again. Let my followers hear this again. And see, this is the part right here. This is why people talk about systemic injustices and systemic racism, because of this right here.
To this crash, you might ask? Well, let's listen to the body cam footage of one of the cops talking to a witness.
Okay, just make sure you add in there that you had to slam on your brakes and the brakes, like, you know, you had to slam on the brakes to avoid that Charger and the brakes locked up to avoid that Charger. That's.
Make sure you say that you slammed on the brakes to avoid that Charger. The same Charger that was 76 yards behind the crash. This entire thing ruined this man's life.
Man, listen, so use the black witness to incriminate the black guy driving the Charger. This is crazy. Man, this is crazy. So former LSU wide receiver and NFL hopeful Kyren Lacy was driving the Charger. He was involved in a fatal crash in December of 2024, okay? In LaFourche, I hope I'm saying that right, Parish, Louisiana. He was charged with negligent homicide, felony hit and run, and reckless driving. Found dead April 12th, 2025, apparent self-inflicted gunshot wound in Houston. His death took place 2 days before a scheduled grand jury hearing. And you just saw for yourself what happened. I have another video for you guys. I want you to see more of this. Just look at this mess. This is the travesty.
So, look, don't worry about filling any of this top information, like your name, your address. Don't worry about any of that. You write exactly what you saw. Just make sure to include, where you were.
I don't even know what the name of that highway.
It's Highway 20. Highway 20. That you just.
All right, maybe my wife gonna figure out right quick.
Okay, just make sure you add in there that you had to slam on your brakes and the brakes, like, you had to slam on the brakes to avoid that Charger and the brakes locked up to avoid that Charger. That's.
I ain't skid my car, that's what I wasn't even going for. That lady in the back of me, she didn't saw what was happening. That's how she called that record. She was running in the back of me. She pulled on the other side. And
So, but the Charger was coming right at you, correct? And that's why you had to slam on your brake, the head on with you. So yeah, just make sure you include that, and that's very important because we're trying to locate this charger right now. So just include that in the statement, and I'll read it over, and then I'll be out of here.
In that video, you can clearly hear the suggestive nature indicating that I need you to say that you had to slam on your brakes and you had to avoid a charger.
Okay, just make sure you add in there that you had to slam on your brakes, and the brakes, like, you know, you had to slam on the brakes to avoid that charger, and the brakes locked up to avoid that charger. That's.
But then you hear Gold Truck, the witness, who's the Gold Truck, what he says. And he says verbatim.
I ain't skid mark or nothing. I wasn't even gone, man. That lady in the back of me, she didn't saw what happened. That's how she called that record. She was running in the back of me. She pulled on the other side. And
I didn't skid marked or nothing because I wasn't even going that fast. That lady in the back of me, she didn't see what's happening. That's how she caused that wreck. She was going to run into the back of me, and she pulled into the other side. But there's a bigger problem. I then obtained the actual written statement.
And this is from the Gold Truck.
This is the Gold Truck. Now, after the statement we just went through, notice I've obviously redacted names, addresses, and the cell phone number in fairness to the individual who is Gold Truck number one in oncoming traffic. See, the problem with that statement is it is in direct contravention to what was said minutes earlier.
Right.
It's not written by him.
Nope.
And where it says signed, it's not signed. It's refused. But you see, when I have a witness who is the most critical, and he's telling you, I wasn't traveling fast. We know now that he wasn't. The data shows 2.99 seconds before that he was traveling 28 miles an hour. The data shows that. Now he corroborates that. And he goes on to say, I didn't even make a skid mark. That woman behind me, she caused that accident. And you give me this statement that is refused? I got a problem.
I do too.
I got a problem with that.
I do too.
A big one. What he's saying is she had to avoid hitting him. He specifically stated she caused that accident. But I've got an affidavit for arrest warrant right here. Nowhere in here does it say anything that you guys just saw on body cam. To the contrary, about that vehicle, it says the Gold Truck took evasive action by emergency braking and driving off the roadway to avoid a head-on crash. But you just heard he said, I wasn't even going fast. I didn't even skid mark. So what emergency braking are we referring to here?
Right.
And what the hell was the point of this report? That is complete opposite. I would expect that you'll show this to where they can read what was said versus what was written just minutes earlier.
Just make sure you add in there that you had to slam on your brakes, and the brakes, like, you know, you had to slam on the brakes to avoid that charger, and the brakes locked up to avoid that charger. That's.
I ain't skid mark or nothing. I wasn't even gone, man. That lady in the back of me, she didn't saw what happened. That's how she called that record. She was running in the back of me. She pulled on the other side.
So, but the charger was coming right at you,
Right,
correct?
right.
And that's why you had to slam on your brake, the head on with you. So yeah, just make sure you include that, and that's very important because we're trying to locate this charger right now. So just include that in the statement, and I'll read it over, and then I'll be out of here. Okay.
By the way, the body cam wasn't on for this statement. It was turned off before obtaining this statement. And this is what we get back in a file.
This is disgusting. It's plain. Even, man, let me tell you something. Ray Charles can see what's going on here. Stevie Wonder can see what's going on. And I don't say that to be dismissive or flippant towards blind people, but it takes a blind person to see what's going on here and to say, well, there's some reason why I can't put all of this together. No. You know what's going on. This cop found someone to be the fall guy. The black guys told him clearly, man, I wasn't going fast. I didn't even skid mark. I was going 28 miles per hour. And to find out that Kyren Lacy, 24 years old, on his way to the NFL playing football at LSU, he's now blamed. The man was 70 plus yards behind the crash. 70 yards, friends. Not 7 feet, not 7 inches, not 7 centimeters, but 70 yards. The length of a football field is 100 yards. Get that. He was 70 yards away, but he gets blamed. And the lady who caused the crash, she gets off scotch-free. Kyren Lacy goes home, is getting ready to be sentenced for a grand jury hearing. He can't take the pressure. He can't take the mental anguish. He knows he may go to prison for the rest of his life, be forced to wear an orange jumpsuit, beat on, deal with gang culture and prison culture for the rest of his days, stripped, locked away, and he can't take it. Couldn't take it. He was innocent, forced to deal with this court case, forced to deal with people calling him a murderer and claiming that he did a hit and run. He could not take it. So instead, he caved to the pressure. Do I agree with him caving? No. Do I think that somewhere along the way that we can call this maybe a psychological cop-out? Possibly. But what would you do if you were staring down the barrel of maybe 25 years to life? Heck, who knows? Maybe even the death penalty. Hey, if these cops are this dirty to lie on the man, who knows what kind of charges they would have put up on him? He couldn't take it. He had reached his wit's end. It was the straw that broke the camel's back. He could not deal with it. And so he found his nearest exit. Grabbed a gun and handled his business and took his own life. Because these nasty cops didn't do their job. I'm disgusted by this. And so the district attorney is re-examining the case independently. Louisiana Democrats are calling for an independent investigation. Proposed Lacy Law aims to punish officers who falsify or distort evidence. What do you mean punish? No, you need to imprison them. You should get 25 years to life if you falsify or distort evidence. Why? Because if you do so, the next person might have to be stuck with 25 years to life. We need to make it clear that if you jack up a report intentionally, you're going down for a long time. Put them under the jail, please. 25 years to life. That's what it needs to be. Lacy Law, 25 years to life. No official court ruling has cleared Lacy of responsibility yet. The authenticity of the video and details are still under review, but I believe it. From what I've seen, from what's out there, for the evidence that we do have, oh yeah, we've got a mess on our hands, friends. God forbid. Let me know what you think below, my friends, in the comment section. Am I right? Or am I wrong? Am I weak or am I strong? Do me a big favor, like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I got to calm down on this one. I got a little bit worked up. This is disgusting. I don't know, man. God have mercy upon this man's soul. Kyren Lacy, have mercy upon his family. And may justice be served. God bless you.